So we've been talking about training, and you're also an educator
Right.
of actors. And where can they find you? Where are you teaching? What do you have coming up?
Well, currently I'm teaching at Theater Lab. I'm teaching a basic acting for the camera class, and then I do an advanced class for the camera. And that the basic basically covers auditions, commercials, industrials, feature film and television, the business of the business. The advanced class is, I have no clue. The reason I have no clue is because when I get my students who I know already,
Sure.
or who go through a quick training program with me before they can go into the advanced, I create that 6 weeks specifically for that class.
Okay.
In the very first class, we sit down and talk about what they want to accomplish. I know who they are now. I always do advanced audition techniques and then much more complicated scenes. But I never know what it's going to be. I never know what it's going to be, which is exciting for me.
Good.
And then, I should tell you, in the summertime, I will be at the Smithsonian Institution.
Okay.
Most of the workshops I do are for kids 9 to 13, and a lot of them are not performance oriented. I mean, we do have one where, it's a political class, a workshop in which we call it President for a Week, and we take them to the White House and the Capitol, and they write slogans and they draw their own presidential portraits, and they make their own political commercials, and then they have to do their acceptance speech. So that's kind of fun. But the two performance classes, John Judy and I do a murder mystery workshop where we take those kids, and by Friday afternoon, we create 2 complete murder mysteries.
Outstanding. That sounds like a lot of fun.
It is. It's nerve-wracking because you're always, if you're a director and you're doing something in a week,
Yeah.
and you're not dealing with trained actors, but it is fun. And then the other one we do is live from the Smithsonian. It's Friday afternoon.
Oh, cool. Just like Saturday Night Live.
Yes, Saturday Night Live for 9 to 13-year-olds, and we cover everything. A little bit of vaudeville, a little bit of political, anything that happens to be in the news. So that's my education that I'm doing right now.
Outstanding. And to go back to when you talk about your basic class at Theater Lab, you mentioned business of the business.
Yes.
Give me something, business-wise for an actor that a tip that you could give relating to the business, because 80% of what you're doing is business in this.
That's right. That's why it's called the business of the biz.
Yep.
Or show business they call it show business, but it's the business of show.
Yeah.
Well, there's a bunch of things. One is obviously letting them know the agencies that are available to them, the websites that they should go after, but also start thinking now, even though you're not anywhere close to it, start thinking about building your own website.
Of course.
So any job you do, make sure you get a copy of that. And it may start off very simple. You may have just a photo and a resume which doesn't have much on it, but then you can put that one video, and certainly if you're really interested in voiceover, get somebody to make you an audition demo reel, with commercial and narration on it.
Yeah, I think that a lot of actors don't understand that there's more to the business of acting than just film and TV and theater. There are many facets. And
Right.
could you talk a little bit about the other facets of?
Well, a great example is I was lucky enough to be part of the Loop group for The Wire. And I spent 5 seasons on The Wire, coming in every once in a while with a group of people, and we would do all those background voices, the dispatcher or the patron in the bar or whatever it was. And that was a wonderful opportunity, and it also was a chance to work with looking at a screen and then mouthing the words to fit the lips.
Yep.
You know.
So ADR. is what they
ADR.
call it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Do you have a tough time with that, or since doing those types of things, it really helps you to?
Oh, the first time I ever had to do one was for an industrial film, and it was doing English for Russian, and that took a long time.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Wow.
Yeah, you know. Well, and you see it all the time.
Sure.
You know, you watch a foreign film and then it's been dubbed. I prefer actually to have subtitles than to watch the.
Yeah.
It never works.
No.
It never totally works.
Exactly.
You know. But again, the voiceover market's very big. You know, the print market is big. So there's print modeling, there's voice work.
Yeah,
you
I
know.
mean, as an actor, you know, if you get called for a print job, and
Christmas just fell.
yes, as an actor, you know, you talk about these facets. You were just talking about print jobs. As an actor, you get called in to do a print job, and it's 2 hours of work a lot of times, and it's a lot of money.
It can be a lot of money.
Yeah, it can be.
Yeah. The only
And-
thing that I don't like about print work is it takes forever to get it.
Yes. And going on a go-see, you're driving an hour or so, you walk in, they take your picture, and you leave. That's
Right.
tough, right?
Well, I had one that I didn't get it, but it was interesting. I had to go to New York for it. And I went to New York, and you know what they did? They took one picture, and you know what it was? It's back of my head.
Yeah. I've been there. The video we did in Houston,
Oh, yeah.
our faces weren't even seen.
That's right.
But that was part of the business. You know, they flew us down there, they put us up.
Oh,
they,
yeah.
you know,
And they
we-
paid us nicely.
Exactly.
And yeah, that was fine. It's the go-see that's 4 hours
Yeah, that's
to
tough.
shoot the back of your head.
Yeah, unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
But you know, things like that happen in this industry.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. So
you take
prep
the good
yourself
with the
for
bad.
it. Yeah, exactly.
You take the good with the bad. Now, in an audition situation, what's your advice to an actor, a young actor, after the audition? What should they do?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Well, I think in one sense, you might want to just sort of replay it in your head a little bit. What did I feel comfortable doing? What didn't I feel comfortable doing? But you always have to realize that sometimes you walk out of an audition and you feel like you just made the biggest ass out of yourself in the world. And 2 weeks later, they call you and say, "You were great, we want you."
Sure.
And the other ones you just nail and nothing. So, I mean, it doesn't, you're not a real good objective person to look at it because you're doing it as opposed to watching it. But you're going to get certain things, I think, from that. And again, depending on what kind of an audition it is, whether you wanted to follow up with a postcard, that's another story. That's part of the business part of it. And a lot of people, particularly if you've not been in the business a long time, you know, a postcard once in a while is a wonderful thing. If that person is calling you in all the time, you don't have to send them a postcard and saying, "Thank you for the audition."
Sure.
You know, that just kind of sounds like we're getting another one of these, you know, and it's almost a negative.
Yeah. Well, it's a fine line.
Yeah, it's
you
a
know?
fine line.
It is a fine line. You know, you don't want to seem too overeager or desperate.
Right. Desperate is the
Yes.
word.
Desperate.
I'm desperate.